Welcome. Today I'm doing a achievement walkthrough for Venba. It's a new game that just released on July 31st of 2023. First, I suggest you go into options and turn off the camera bulb. And it's mostly a cutscene game. There's only a few basically QuickTime, not exactly QuickTime events, but kind of QuickTime events where you're cooking. And that's where the achievements will all be. So I'm really only going to do commentary when we get to the cooking spots. And the rest of it, I'll just let the game play. You can push A to skip the conversations, and it doesn't matter what dialogue options you pick while you're going through. So if you want to just go through the game until you get to the cooking normally, or just skip the dialogue, you can. There are a couple missable achievements. I will tell you how to get those when we get to them. And they are mostly for cooking the recipes perfectly. So here we are at our first cooking segment. The one missable achievement is there is an option you have to select during almost every recipe, not quite every recipe, to view all of them while you are cooking. So when you first start here, you'll push on the cookbook, and then what you'll want to do is after you're done looking at the cookbook, you will want to push Y after the dialogue. So you'll push Y now, and then you'll select the middle option, and then you can skip through the dialogue. You have to do both of these. So first you'll do how is it made. Then you'll want to push Y again, choose the middle option again, and choose whichever one you didn't first time. Then, once you're done with that, we can make the recipe, and if you just follow what I do, you'll take the water, pour it in the pot, then you will get a towel, put it on the pan over here, a plate. Then you will grab the batter, dump it on the plate, pick up the plate, place it in the pot, and spin it so the three little dots end up at the bottom right here. Then you'll grab another towel, put it on the plate, put more batter on it, pick up the plate, put it in, rotate it again, grab another towel, put it on the plate, grab more batter, and then you will just put it in. You don't have to rotate again. If you do, just make sure you put it back to how it is right here with the 3 little dots in the middle one, then what you'll do is put the lid on. And then once the lid's on, you will turn the cooker on by clicking on the dial. Now after the dialogue, you'll take the lid off. And it's done. And that should get you the achievement for completing it without screwing up. Along with the achievement for successfully completing the recipe, which you get no matter what. Then I will wait to do any more commentary until we get to the next recipe that we're going to cook. Okay, now we're in chapter 2, and the next cooking segment is coming up. There are two missable achievements for this chapter. The one is for completing the recipe without messing up, and the other one is for messing up. So I will show you how to get the one without messing up, and then after we beat the game and unlock chapter select, we'll go back in and get the one for messing up. And once we get through all this dialogue and get to the cooking segment, she conned him good. Then you'll click on the cookbook. Then once you're done looking at the cookbook, you'll want to push Y after the dialogue to select the option storing the flour towards the missable achievement for viewing all of the dialogue from these cooking options. Then once that dialogue is done, you'll get the rice and put it in the blender, then turn the blender on. Then you'll take the blended rice, put it on the strainer, take the strainer and shake it over the towel in the middle here until all that's left in the strainer is chunks. And then you'll take those chunks and put them back in the blender and blend them again. Then you'll take the finished blended, put it back on the strainer, and shake the rest out. Then there will still be some chunks left over. You'll want to put those back in the blender, blend them again, and then shake them through the strainer again. Then once you're done shaking this all through, you'll set the strainer down, and then you'll pick up the towel and you'll put it in the bowl of water. And that's it for the first part of the recipe. Now we'll start the second part, and this is where the achievement comes in. So now what we'll do is click on the cookbook, then exit the cookbook, and then once the dialogue is through, you will want to, I believe, push Y again and do other garnishes. And then once this is through, what you'll want to do is get the water and put it in the okay, that's done. Now grab the water and put it in this container here on the bottom right, the kettle. Now pick up the kettle and put it on the burner. Now what you'll need to do is, in this order, grab coconut flour and you'll put them in the mold. So you have to do it in this order. Grab 1 coconut flour, then grab 2 of the other one, then 1 coconut flour, then 2 of the other, and then 1 coconut flour. Then you'll grab the lid and put it on the mold. Once you have it, it'll look like this. Then put the lid on and pick up the mold, and you'll put it on top of the kettle. And then you will turn on the burner. And that will get you the achievement for doing it without messing up, as long as you didn't mess up. And that is the cooking for Chapter 2. I will return with commentary when we get to the cooking for the next chapter. For now, you can just skip all the dialogue or go through and read it all, whichever one you prefer. Okay, now we're in Chapter 3. I don't actually think there is a cooking thing in here. I think this is just story. So I will just continue skipping the dialogue until we get to Chapter 4. And then I will walk you through the cooking segments there. And that is the end of chapter 3. Now we're starting chapter 4, and we now have 4 of the 15 achievements, equaling 240 gamer score, and we'll start right off into the first cooking segment for chapter 4. And it's pretty easy, but you have to do certain ingredients in a certain order, so if you just follow what I do, it will work out, and you will get the achievement for doing the cooking the right way. So after this, what you'll do is, again, you'll click the Y button to select the middle option for finding these ingredients. And then once the dialogue is all exhausted, we'll start cooking. And first, what you'll do when to put the first ingredient in is I forgot, you have to click on one of these little bubble things above the ingredients or the pot, if she's trying to remember. Then what you'll do is start by putting the ingredients in, and we will start with the fennel seeds, then you will do the cloves, then you will do the bay leaves, then you will do the cardamom, then once that's done, you can go through the dialogue, and then we'll begin with putting in the next set of ingredients, starting with the onions. Then you'll do the chilies, and then you'll do the garlic paste, then you'll do the tomatoes. Then once you're done with the tomatoes and you go through this dialogue option, now we'll start putting the spices in. And we'll start with the masala. Then we'll do the turmeric. Then we'll do the chili powder. Then you'll do the salt. Save the beef for last. Make sure you do the salt. The beef should be the last ingredient you put in, besides the water. And then after we put the beef in, then we'll dump the water in. And that will finish this one. And that will lead towards getting the achievement for that. Then we'll start the next stage, so you'll click on the cookbook. And after the dialogue, you will click on the little cloud orb thing, get through the dialogue, and then you'll want to push Y, and choose type of biryanis, I think is how you say it. Then what we'll do is take the empty bowl, scoop some of it out of the pot. Then you will take the rice, dump some of the rice in. Then you will dump what you scooped out back in. Then you will put more rice on top. Now you will grab and put the rest of the stuff on in this order. You'll start with the mint leaves. Then you'll do the milk. Then you'll do the fried onions. Then you'll do the cilantro, the ghee, and then you'll do the cashews. Then you'll want to put the lid on. And once you put the lid on, you will turn on the burner. Okay, the burner just turns on. I couldn't remember if this was one you had to turn the burner on for sure or not. Now once it's done, you'll take the lid back off. And then it'll be done. And you will get the achievement for cooking it without screwing up successfully. And then that will be the only cooking segment in this chapter. And then we will get to the next chapter, which is chapter 5. And there is a missable achievement there. And I will tell you how to get it when we get there. And now we're at the beginning of the next chapter. Time has passed. Looks like husband/father has passed away. So here is... No, this isn't where the achievement is. It's later in this chapter. We will do the cooking segment first, and you might be able to mess up this cooking segment if you don't pay attention and burn something or whatever, but I don't think you can, and there's not an achievement for not messing it up, but I will walk you through how to do it anyway. So we'll start off by rotating to create the dough, and we will need to make 3 of them, and it will just automatically move over to start the next one, and you'll just keep rotating. Then once it's done making them, it will automatically move and put them in a frying pan. Then once they start glowing and get the white line around them, you'll want to click on it to flip it out of the pan onto the plate. Then once you get all 3 of those done, we'll move to the next stage of the cooking. I believe this is like 6 different dishes we do. So what you'll do is grab the spoon and fill up each one of these 7 little compartments with a scoop. Make sure the white circle is highlighted around the section, or it will not fill it with the spoon. Then once you are done with that, the next set of ingredients will come and you will do the same thing. Fill it with a spoonful in each one. Then once you have all of them full, what you will do is watch it, and they will highlight with white, and you'll click on it to flip them over. And like I said, I don't think you can mess up here, unless maybe you burn something, because you don't flip it fast enough. Then once they're all flipped, when the white circle goes around them, you'll click on them to pull them out of the pan and put them on the plate. Now we'll move to the next one, where you will push A to slice the fish 3 times. And then when it flips over, slice it 3 more times. And then you will pick up the sauce and dump it over the fish. It'll flip over and you'll dump the rest over the other side. Then it will fry, and once that white outline appears around it, you'll click on it to flip it over. And then you'll click on it again when the white outline appears to take it out of the pan. And then for this next one, what you'll do is you'll dump the stuff in the pot, Then you will dump the next set of ingredients in there. And then you will dump the next one in there. And then we'll put these chili peppers, it looks like, in. And then we'll dump this seasoning of some sort in. And we'll put in these probably bay leaves or something like that. Then that's it for this one. And then we will start on the next section, which what you will do first is wait until that light, the little steam spout lights up after it steams out, and then you'll click on it, and then you will take the lid off, and then you will pick up this and dump it in. Then you will click on each little branch as it lights up to take it off and throw it in the soup. Then that's it for that one, and now we're moving on to this one. It looks like chicken legs, and when a white outline comes around it, you'll click on them to flip them over. And then once they're all flipped over, I believe that's the last part of this cooking segment. Yeah, that's the last of this cooking segment. Now we're getting to where the Missable Achievement is. There's the achievement for just progressing through the story and completing that cooking segment. Now right here you'll get access to the phone and view the text conversation that comes through. And when we do, what you will want to do is scroll to the bottom all the way, and then you'll want to scroll all the way up to the top. Make sure you're at the bottom, then scroll all the way to the top, and then once you're all the way at the top, you'll want to scroll all the way back down. And then once you get to the bottom, then you'll want to push A to continue, and that will get you the Missable Achievement. That should pop right up here. And there is the achievement for doing the text conversation thing. Now we will start off the next chapter, And now we are the sun grown up. So here is another missable achievement for the text conversation. So he will type up a few texts and you will have to push A to send them. And then he will type up a longer text and then he'll delete it. And then once he deletes it, what we'll do is we'll do the same thing as before. We'll scroll all the way to the top and then back down. Okay, so here's where he types up the long text. And then once he types up the long text, he will delete it. Then once it is all the way deleted, instead of pushing A to continue, what you will do is, don't push A to send this one. You'll scroll all the way up to the, you will push A, but then you won't push A again. Scroll all the way up to the top, and then you'll scroll all the way back down. And then once you make sure you scroll all the way to the top and all the way back down to the bottom, you can push A. And there's the achievement for doing that text message once. And now we will go into the next cooking segment too. So now once you're in, you will want to click on the red cookbook again. Then you'll want to back out. And then once the dialogue is exhausted, you'll push Y, choose the recipe book, and then exhaust the dialogue. Then you will want to pick up the tamarind, dump it in this bowl, then pick up the warm water, dump it in the bowl on top of the tamarind, pick up the sifter strainer, put it on the bowl on the bottom, not this bowl on the top. Then you will push and hold A on the top bowl to mix it. Then once it's mixed, you'll pick it up and pour it through the strainer. Then you'll pick up the strainer and dump the chunks back in the top bowl. Put more water. Put the strainer back on the other bowl. Mix the top bowl. Then dump it through the strainer again. Put the chunks back in the top bowl. Put more warm water. Then dump them back through, mix, and dump back through the strainer again. And that'll do it for this part of the recipe. And now we'll move on to the next part of the recipe. So what you'll need to do is put the ingredients in just the right order, and I will show you what that right order is. So once the dialogue is exhausted, you will want to, I don't remember if there's a Y button thing at this segment. Yes, there is. So you want to click on that, About Soups. Go through the dialogue. Then once the dialogue is exhausted, we will go ahead and put in the cumin, and then put in the mustard seeds. Then once you put those in, go through the dialogue, and then what we will put in next is the red chili peppers, and then the green curry leaves. And then you'll go through the dialogue, and then next what you'll put in is the minced shallots, I believe is how you say it. And then you will put in the garlic and ginger, and then go through the dialogue. And now we will put in the tomatoes, and then we will put in the actual bowl of water, which is what we strained through in the last section. And now what we'll do is put the salt in, and then after the salt we'll put in the rasam powder, and that will be it for this part of the recipe. And then once we get through this, where we're remembering when our mother made us this dish when we were sick, when he was younger, we will start the next part, and once you get through the dialogue at the beginning, you'll push Y again. And I don't know if this one counts towards it, but you'll probably want to just do it just to be safe. Then you will add the water to the pot. Then we will add the salt. Then we'll add the turmeric. And then we'll add the chicken. Then we'll put the lid on. Then we'll put the steam spout on. And then we'll turn on the burner. Then you'll wait for it to cook. And then once it's done cooking, it'll spray off and the steam thing will go off. Then you'll want to take the steam thing off and the lid off. And then we will move on to the next cooking segment, which is rather easy. I think there's another Y thing for this. Nope, there's not. So what you'll do is you'll pick up the cooked soup that we got in the last part, and we'll dump it in the red pan on the burner. And then once you're done with that, you'll pick up the coriander, not cilantro, and dump it in the pot. And there is the achievement for successfully cooking the chicken without messing up. Now we're at 9 out of 15 achievements, and most of the rest of them at this point we just get for finishing the game. But there are still, I think there's one more segment where you'll push Y and watch that, and then it will finish that part. And then we'll still have to go back, and once we unlock chapter replay, go back to chapter 2 and mess up on that recipe. And I will show you how we do that once we get there. Now here we are in the next chapter of the game. Now we'll go right into this next cooking segment, and there's 3 different stages to this one. So after you go through the dialogue, we will again push the Y button and select About. Then once you're done with this dialogue, what you'll do is pick up the water and dump it on the pan. And then you will turn the temperature down, and then you will take the batter and put it on the pan. Then you will rotate the left stick to spread the batter. Then once it's all spread, we will dump the oil that's on the right onto the pan. Then you'll use the flipper turn the temperature up first, sorry. Then once it's darkened, you'll use the flipper to flip it over. And then you will flip it over again to flip it off the pan. Then you'll go through the dialogue, get to the next section, and after this dialogue, you'll push the Y button again, and you'll select healthier modifications. And once you get through this dialogue, you'll put the water on the pan again. And then you'll turn the temperature down, put the batter on the pan, and then rotate the left stick to spread the batter again. Now for this one, we're going to add toppings. So what you will do is you will first add the ghee, and then you will add the carrots. And that's all we'll add to this one. Then you'll turn the temperature up, and then when it starts to brown around the edges, you'll flip it. Then you will flip it again to take it off the pan. Now we're going to make another one. There's the achievement for making that one with those certain ingredients. Now you'll do this same thing, push Y, do what does curry mean. Go through the dialogue, put water on the pan, turn the temperature down, put batter on the pan, and spread it out by rotating the left stick. And then once we're done spreading it with the left stick, we are going to add more ingredients to this one to get the achievement for making this one special too. So now what you'll want to do first is put the key on it. Then you will want to put the beaten eggs. Then once the eggs are all on it, you will put the curry, and then you will put the coriander. Then you'll turn it up. And once it starts to darken around the edges, you will flip it. And then flip it again. And it's done. And then your achievement for making that one in the certain way will pop along with the other achievements for viewing all of those segments by pushing Y, the flavor text, that's what they're called, flavor texts, and then the achievement for viewing both of the text conversations, and the achievement for doing all recipes in the specific order successfully without screwing up. And then it will just go through to the end of the game right here, and you will want it to play through because until the game finishes, it won't unlock the replay chapter. And we need the replay chapter so we don't have to play back through chapter 1 and 2. We only have to play back through part of chapter 2. So then you can just either read this dialogue or skip it. And once it gets through to the end and the credits start playing, you can go ahead and skip the credits by holding the start button or menu button. I still call it the start button, but I don't know what it's actually technically called anymore. And now here's where the credits roll, and you can skip them by holding the start button. Then when you get back to the main menu, if you want to check and make sure, you should have 14 out of 15 for 950. Then you'll select chapters, chapter 2. And then once the chapter starts, you will want to just mash the, well, you don't have to mash it, but just push the A button to skip through all the dialogue till we get back to the cooking segment. Okay, now we are at the cooking segment, and what we're going to do is fail in making the thing when we're doing the mold, but this first part you still have to accomplish correctly. So you'll click on the red book, then you'll put the rice in the blender, blend it, put the rice on the strainer, strain it out over the towel, put the chunks back in the blender, blend, strain through, blend the rest of the chunks, strain it out, pick up the towel, put it in the water. Then here's where we're going to mess up to get the achievement for messing up. So what you'll do is you need to make it crumble. So we'll click on the cookbook. Then what we do is you do 1 coconut, 1 putu, then you'll put another putu, put 2 coconuts, 3 coconuts, and then 1 more putu. And honestly, any way will work as long as it's not the correct way. So then you'll put the water in the kettle, put the kettle on the burner with the lid on the mold. Then you'll put the mold on top of the kettle and turn on the burner. And if you did it incorrectly, but correctly, it will crumble as they pull it off. And then your achievement for doing it wrongly should pop up. And that's the end. Now you should have 15 of 15. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And check out my other videos. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.